You have posted about the girl that you're seeing now, right?
Dude, I saw the roses.
I think he's got a thing going on right now about, like, going after younger women. Coming up on the Vanderpump Rules after show.
You know, the whole being roommates, moving in together thing.
Yeah?
I think I'm, like, ready to commit.
That's Tom and Tom's actual midlife crisis. The way things are going with me right now, I might need to jump in, too.
Oh, God, dude.
You look like a couch.
Oh. That's Katie's way of saying that I love you, but you also kind of drive me crazy. And I'm like, you drive me crazy too, but I love you too.
Do you think he has, like, a degradation kink? But what about moving here?
God forbid this doesn't work out. That's gonna hit her like a fucking ton of bricks.
Oh, she's not gonna be a partner.
This isn't like the three of us as the Three Musketeers.
Oh.
The sandwich brand is owned by Penny and her husband.
The Vanderpump Rules after show starts right now.
Let's talk about T.
She's great. Really nice girl. Super cool, super talented, great singer. Like, it was never anything real, like, serious.
Scheana was like, why has that girl been talking to my husband for so long? I was like, I don't know. She was like, do you want to get a water with me? I was like, sure. And then I met the fateful meeting.
How old are you? I'm 25. That makes sense.
My impression was that she was cute and seemed nice. Who knows? I don't know her. But that she also seemed like really young. There are plenty of romances out there that have large age gaps. I think he's got a thing going on right now about, like, age and getting older. And so I think that something about, like, going after younger women.
It's not exactly the most mature guy either, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
25.
honestly, maybe that's like...
Maybe that's an
Yeah.
appropriate age.
Yeah,
it's kind of, I mean, yeah, that's like my favorite age. I love it. It's so fun.
Tom Sandoval's not going to be running around these streets without, like, some arm candy and being that guy because his ego's inflated so big, right? Until it, you know, pops, he'll be at karaoke on Sunset. He'll be at the Belmont buying everyone shots with his girlfriend that was a model. I mean, come on now. Come on now.
You have posted about the girl that you're seeing now, right?
Dude, I saw the roses.
Pretty cool.
It was a hard launch.
Where'd you guys meet?
We met randomly, like, so at the waterfront, there was those girls we were talking to at a table. I, like, stayed in contact with one of the girls, and then, like, she asked her friend to come to, like, one of my shows. They had fun, whatever, and then I was at the launch party for Special Forces, and she saw us there at Craig's, and then we ended up, like, going to do karaoke, came back to my house, we were hanging out. We were just friends, and then more than that. I mean, she's super cool. She's very successful. She's a model, does very well for herself. Has her own house. Did not watch the show, was not familiar with it whatsoever. Doesn't care about, like, social media or following or anything. She's also very generous. She's very, like, sweet. She takes care of people. She's, like, very nurturing, very maternal, and she's spontaneous. We have a lot of fun together.
She's cool.
The internet says that she used to date Leo DiCaprio. Is that true?
I think they dated very briefly. Yeah, maybe she aged out or something, I don't know.
There's a familiar face at the sandwich shop.
I already think she's a great addition.
Hi! Hello! Look at that POS system.
Right? It's nice.
She's so pretty.
Just her presence and enthusiasm and everything.
Yeah, it's great. And I think, too, something that she had said that she wanted in a job before was she wanted to be, like, someone who contributed creatively and somebody who had, like, upward mobility and things like that. And that's definitely something that we have. She also said she really wanted to work with women. And I think that that's something... Obviously, we're ladies, so...
Like, we're still in touch with her and, like, being like, it's coming along, and must work with us.
I heard through the rumor mill that there's permitting issues.
This patio has, like, really held things up.
It's held up any kind of permit that we could obtain to open. Yeah. And there's apparently other violations in the building, too.
Jesus.
And look, the funniest thing for me, and it's just like, I don't know what you call this, but The biggest problem that Katie had with Sandoval
The place looks nice, though.
was their relationship with the Schwartz and Sandy bar opening up, right? And then the issue that Tom ran off with, when they were opening the bar, Tom ran off doing his music and all that, right? We're still waiting for the sandwich shop to open, and it's the same thing, just in different forms. Ariana's running off to New York, doing her stuff, and Katie's trying to open up this bar. So there's a lot of similarities into like the boys and the girls, and it's wild for me to see that. So,
look,
I looked at the trademark, and the trademark is owned by Penny, the lady they hired. The trademark is owned by her husband, ladies and gentlemen, which means the sandwich brand is owned by Penny and her husband, who is an attorney, a litigator. And I know for a fact that they're having issues trying to get a contract with this woman.
And you can't say as no.
Oh, she's not going to be a partner.
This isn't like the three of us as the Three Musketeers.
Oh.
As you can tell by the second sandwich tastings, the girls have no idea what to do. They hired this woman to do the job.
Right.
No, I don't know. That's all I know. For a fact, you can look on the trademark site right now.
Look, all I'm saying is...
So what's happening with something about her?
Right. What is happening?
They need to change that name real quick. Once Upon a Tom.
Once Upon a Sandwich.
Breadcrumbs.
Hey, all I'm saying is when I go to the third sandwich tasting for something about her, Sloppy Joe's better be on the menu!
We got to see you and Dan go out on a little dinner date. How's Dan, by the way?
He's good. Just being cute in New York.
Are you guys good? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, he lives on the other side of the country, so we just enjoy each other's company a lot, and it's been really nice.
You guys discussed potential next steps in your relationship.
Well, what about moving here? I've always liked the idea of being kind of like more bi-coastal. When I first moved here, that was kind of the idea. But I guess for me, it just depends on like, where's the work taking me? And then just see what happens from there.
I think in the beginning, it was just like fun. Like they're just kind of like doing this thing. But seeing them and hanging out with them as is progressing, I'm like, I think like she's surprised on how she probably wants more now.
Dan, he's the man. I like Dan, I really do. And I think it's very difficult to be a +1 into this group or a boyfriend of. Everyone wants to make sure he's there for the right reasons. And I've hung around him and I believe that he's been around for the right reasons. I know there was question marks about his relationship with her.
Some people are like, oh, you started talking to somebody or whatever.
You had a boyfriend 2 days later.
I don't think Ariana has fully processed the trauma with Tom. I did question if Ariana had processed the trauma because obviously very different circumstances. You moved on quickly with Allie. Some relationships work out, some don't. But for what Ariana went through to meet someone 10 days later, and although he didn't become her boyfriend 10 days later, by mid-April, they're posting holding hands together. So it had only been a matter of weeks.
Right.
And that's where I worried for her because I'm like, God forbid this doesn't work out. To bring it back to me, because apparently I'm consistent in doing that, when Rob and I broke up, I was processing that and the divorce. And the trauma that happened to her did not happen to me.
Right.
So I just kept thinking and praying that Dan is as good of a guy as I think he is.
Me too, I was praying
Because
that too.
I'm like, if this doesn't work out, she's gonna have both of that coming down on her and that's gonna hit her like a ton of bricks.
Right. And I think, like, when I was talking to Ariana about this, you know, if you remember, I believe it was season 6, Ariana and I went shopping, and she said that she and Sandoval hadn't been sleeping together because she, in her previous relationship, was verbally abused about her body and her cute little cookie. I was in a really, like, mentally and emotionally abusive relationship where I was told that my vagina was disgusting. And there we see it, that manifested itself into her relationship with Sandoval. It affected it. So I didn't want that same thing to happen, but with Sandoval in the relationship with Dan. This has nothing to do with Dan not being a great guy.
Exactly. You're being protective of Ariana, you care about her, you didn't want any, like, boy coming in and, like, you know, messing with her head.
Right.
Someone's gotta look out.
Here's the thing, like, he could literally turn out to be, which he's not, but a con artist, and guess what? I'll be fine. I'm like, not like untouchable, but I'm like, you cannot do work. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'll take care of myself regardless.
Honestly, I see a lot of what I would do with Scheana. He just wants to support her.
He came out like every other week for dancing. And it was really nice because that schedule is really crazy, and especially on camera blocking and show days. I'm getting to TV City at like 7 a.m. and I'm not done until 8 p.m. And he would, you know, make sure that Maya was taken care of and Kitty, and he would clean up the house and just make sure that when I came home, it was like chill and good. And then he would drive my car up to or down to TV City, and then he would take the red eye home that night and go to work, straight to work the next morning. It's a really nice thing.
Everyone deals with breakups differently, right? You hear a lot about like people like breaking up from a long relationship and then they meet someone and then they get married and live happily ever after. Like stuff like that happens all the time, right? So it's not really that outrageous. You know, did it happen quick? Yes. But do I think she needed time to process for 6 months what happened? Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, she's already been lied to for the last 6 months. I mean, it, you're dead to me now. Like, piss off.
Yeah, how checked out were they in that relationship on the back end of it?
They were already checked out pretty much, yeah.